No, just like that. Bam. I'm sitting here trying to make the show start, but it's already started. Bam, we're live. Everyone knew but me. Good morning, Scott. Good morning. Spiegel, hi, good morning. Changing the profile pic regularly to confuse me, but at least keeping it consistent in the same genre. Sevan, play the Easy song. Nobody move, nobody get hurt. That's a good one. What if I did have access? What if I had Caleb this morning to help me? Oh my goodness, that would be fantastic. Maybe that's why I like the Frisbee shows, because I have Caleb. Maybe that's why. I didn't even think about that. It is so great having Caleb. It is so great. I can't tell you. He kills it. He kills it. I'd take Caleb over money. Cameron, good morning. I think I just started following you, Cameron, last night. That was cool. That that video you sent me. I remember that scene. Was it, what movie was that from? Like Predator, with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Carl Weathers when they gripped up. That was cool. Spiegel, one of the best affiliate shirts I got was from CrossFit Crazy in Menominee, Wisconsin. All right, fine. Travis Levin, my black and gold CEO. Yeah, that one's cool. My kid wants this one, Travis, the American flag one. It's funny. They're obsessed with the CEO shirts. They're so big on them, and I like my kids to look tight, though, and they look sloppy in them. So I always make them take them off after a little while. Geez Louise Sevi, if you paid my mortgage, I'd work behind the scenes for you. Yeah, there you go. I don't even know if you're capable, dude. I don't even know if you're capable. The level at which Caleb's at it's crazy. It's so even yesterday during the Frisbee show, I mean, there's like little nuances that I catch him doing that are so awesome. The first time I wore these glasses, Greg told me I looked like the Syrian ambassador to the United States. I was thinking, I bet you that dude doesn't get a lot of girls, but maybe he does. Menominee. What do you mean, Menominee? Sevi's trying to say Menominee. Menominee. Leading cause of death. Do you guys know what it is? Leading cause of death? Leading cause of death in the world? It's very easy. Leading cause of death. No one ever says it. No one ever says it, but it's like so obvious. I don't know if I can do your accent. Leading cause of death, cardiac. Not even close. Not even close. Leading cause of death. I appreciate the guess, though. At least someone's listening. COVID, of course. No. Oh my goodness. Mike's getting close. The point of this question isn't the answer. The point of this question is just how people think. You're getting so close. You are getting very, very close. The point isn't the answer. The point is how people think. And then on top of that, I'd like to take it even one level. People don't even know how they think. And then once you know how you think, you can kind of tinker with it, right? You can be like, okay, I can think like that in order to solve this. But most people just think just one way. And they don't even know how they think. They're just sleeping zombies. The number one cause of death is being born. If you were not born, you would not die. I don't even know if cause is the right word. I'm willing to tell you that. I don't know if cause is the right word. There you go, Slater. Slater's like, yeah, I told you. Yes, 100%. No second place, impossible to refute. Not a lot of things are true in life, but boy, that one, we're getting close to something. We are getting close. But we and we want to save lives at any cost. Right? We're willing to kill. We've already shown as humans we're willing to kill 100 to save 99. But we are not willing to not be born in order too. That pushes us too far, right? But most people don't even know that that's how they're thinking. They don't even know how they think. There's not like they don't even know how they think. I give you kind of another weird one. Cancer. So a lot of people here are probably kind of stuck in the middle because we're a big personal accountability, right, and personal responsibility group. That's us. Sevi dislikes me. That is not true. That is not true at all. Matter of fact, I enjoy looking at your picture. You're a fine mix of nerd and flat bill gangster that I appreciate. You were like that kid at school I couldn't figure out uh, who would wear the both straps on your backpack. It wasn't cool, but for some reason you could pull it off. And I'd be like, damn, I wish I could do that. That looks so much more comfortable. That's what now you know what I really think about you. We're the big personal accountability and personal responsibility group, right? It's all under our control. And we should be doing the best to take care of ourselves. And then there's this other group of people that think that there's a cure for cancer. Some of you probably think, oh, maybe there is a cure for cancer, but it doesn't make any sense. We should be able to distinguish the two ways of thinking. It doesn't mean you can't have both ways. You can think both ways and they can be contradictory in your head. Don't be afraid of that. You're not a hypocrite for that. You're not a hypocrite for thinking that there's a cure, but then also realizing that there is no cure. It's not something you need to do to get rid of cancer. It's something you need to stop doing. Cure implies that there's something you need to do. We know that we're fully responsible by our choices, our lifestyle choices, how much we move and what our hand puts into our mouth. There's another great one there. You would never cut your hand off to avoid getting cancer. My hand keeps putting these donuts in my mouth and keeps putting this 40 into my mouth. And so I'm going to cut my hand off. That would be a kind of thinking, right? That would be a kind of thinking. And then there's the outsourcing of it. Well, they'll give me radiation. There's nothing I can do about it. They'll give me radiation and chemicals and I'll just do my best. Any of us gets type 2 diabetes and we're like, shit, we're going to stop eating Snicker bars. I'm introducing a lot of ideas here, by the way. It is not the topics of discussion. It is not sugar or diabetes or cancer that I'm talking about at all today. Think of it more as like cause and effect. We're talking about how people think. Cause and effect, correlation versus cause, what you can know, what we're really trying to do. Are we really trying to save people's lives? The ultimate way to save everyone's life would be to just not be born. Then when no one has to die, but then you wouldn't be alive. So we accept that. You know what the leading cause of death is for children? This is from Google. I don't know if it's true. It doesn't matter if it's true. It's just an example. The leading cause of death for children and young people between the age of 5 and 29 years old. You know what that is? Worldwide. Close. Great guess. Fucking great guess. Drowning. Great guess. Between the age of 5 and 29 years old, leading cause of death. I think under 5, it is drowning, Jeff. I think I remember seeing that somewhere. Mass shootings? No, not even close. Car accidents. Between the age of 5 and 29, leading cause of death. Car accidents. Yeah, and you're right. I don't even know if that's true. You're probably right. It is probably hunger, starvation. Great guesses. Who knows? I'm just telling you what Google told me. Between 5 and 29 years old. By the way, if you put in leading cause, all they want to take you is to gun shit. People must be looking up a lot of gun shit right now. Leading cause of death for ages between 5 and 29 years old, car accidents. Why not get rid of cars? Let's just get rid of cars. That's a way of thinking, right? Bear with me. Bear with me. There's some other. Let me propose some other things before we get rid of cars, right? The leading the cause of those accidents, according to Google, the main causes are speeding, drinking, being tired, and texting. I mean, three of those we could stop right away. We could stop speeding. We could limit the speed of cars overnight, right? We could do that. That's not a problem. We can get rid of alcohol so no one can be drunk, and we can get rid of cell phones so no one can text. I mean, there's ways to fix all of this stuff. But on the other side of saving everyone's life, we have to not be born. Do you see the scale there? So if no one's born, then no one dies. But the cost is that no one gets to be alive. So there's a scale. We put masks on children in the United States and on everyone around them without ever thinking about what the cost was. No one did. No one figured out what the cost was. No one figured out what the cost was. No one, I mean, some of us knew. Some of us were like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm not putting a mask on my kid. My wife was even smarter, right? My wife was even smarter than me. She said, she said, I'm not even going to wear, I'm not even going to let my kids be around anyone who's wearing a mask. I'm trying to find the clip. It's fucking freaky. I'm not even going to let anyone, I'm not even going to let anyone be around my kids wearing a mask. And she ended up being right. Because when you put a mask, when you cover someone's face around a kid, they stop learning. They lose 50% of their ability to learn, basically. They're reading lips. They need to see the expressions on the person's face. Here's some crazy talk. Listen to this crazy talk. I think that the cat thing, I don't know, the car thing is kind of debunked because cars were invented to move people. The presupposition that the origin and that the invention is relevant to the critical thinking. The vaccine was invented to save people too. I mean, this is what you have to be worried about. This is Jon Stewart talk. Do not let this enter your brain. Accidents happen. That's God. Right there. That's the problem, by the way, with you people that believe in God. They can use that on you at all times. Accidents happen. You know that's God, right? And then doubles down on the bad thinking. Guns are invented to kill people. It's irrelevant. What if all you have to do is what if we went back and we're like, hey, Mr. Car Inventor, what was the real reason you invented them? Well, to get pussy. And that's the real reason why guns were invented. Guns weren't invented to kill people. They were invented to get pussy. That's why everything was invented. If you don't know that, then you don't understand shit. I can't explain anything to you. It's just 12 daily doses. Dude, easy, buddy. Don't make it so easy for me. Cars were invented to move people. Guns were invented to actually to just get birds, and not to kill them, but just to maim them. That's why they used so. Don't, and that's the problem. To get to the solution, we're gonna need like people who can think clearly, because we're never going to get to the solution. But what we're trying to do is mitigate the damage we do. I wonder why masks were invented. I don't really care. By the way, that was facetious. We're trying to mitigate the damage. And so we had some people that were really emotional that thought it was really important to save people who are over 80 years old, and we fucked a whole generation. I'm trying to find this clip. It's this. Oh, here it is. Here it is. I ask you this. What do you think the implications are of having the dumbest group of people ever on the planet right now? What do you think the implications are of lowest reading scores and lowest math scores? You think that this is going to help driving on the streets? You think this is going to adversely affect drinking and driving in car accidents, the leading cause of death 5 to 29? You think this is adversely going to affect gun violence? You think this is adversely going to affect cardiac disease? You think this is adversely affect obesity? Dude. You think education is going to what do you think would be more potent to stop gun violence and car accidents? To teach people about drinking or take ARs off the street, automatic rifles, or to have smart kids? I want to double down on smart kids. I'm going to double down on smart kids. That's a cool picture, Bruce. I'm going to double down on smart kids. I'm going to double down on smart kids.
We all knew that the pandemic was going to affect education, but how bad is it?
We've got the data now, and things are bad. They're actually worse than most of us thought. In fact, I would tell you that we have an education crisis right now.
The actual numbers vary by community, but according to a nationwide test given to 4th and 8th graders, reading skills dropped to the lowest point in 30 years. And in math, nearly 40% of 8th graders couldn't understand basic concepts, the worst performance since testing began back in '69.
This is not just poor kids who are living in the urban centers. It's all over America. There's been a dramatic reduction in ELA and in math scores. This goes along with the loss of students in school.
Oh, I want to correct that right there.
And the behavioral problems.
He said this goes along with the loss of students in school. Those I would argue that those loss of students in school are actually the ones that can read. The kids that aren't going to school, the vast majority, the 2 million that dropped out in the last 2 years, don't worry about those kids. Mommy and daddy got those. Don't worry about those, Mr. NPR. I wonder if school was invented. I wonder if school was invented to stop gun violence. No, but guess what it does? I wonder if school was invented to stop drunk driving. No, but guess what it does? I wonder if school was invented to stop men from beating women. No, but guess what it does? It mitigates all those things. Listen to this. Listen to this. God, I love you. We are so lucky to have this. You get to see it in real time, people. Guns were invented to kill people. Not true. They were invented to get pussy. I already told you that. You can't refute that. That's what they do. But cars kill people, and they weren't invented to kill people. You're making the presupposition because they kill people, that's what they were invented to do. The vaccine wasn't made to kill people, or was it? Maybe you're onto something. Are you saying they aren't? I'm 100%. Am I saying they aren't what? That they weren't invented to kill animals? And what is the origin of it have anything to do with it? The origin of why it was invented. Maybe once again, you're not looking at the other side of the scale. How many lives has it saved? How many tyrants has it protected people from? There's no other side to it. The mask was invented to protect people. That law was put in place to protect people from COVID. It's made 100 million kids retarded, dude. Do you see that? It's the third time I busted up your argument. Yeah, maybe this is great. So don't sell them to people to people that want to kill people. Question number 7: are you interested in killing people? We don't even try to do that. Fair enough. Fair enough. I'll give you that. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if we do. I guess because look at Hunter Biden. We knew he was a drug addict, and he lied on his application for his gun, and he still got one. So maybe you're onto something there. Something's weird. Something's weird. You're onto something there. I'll meet you there. Can we do that? Can we not talk about why they were invented? Another thing I was tripping on is, do you guys know anyone who is a Democrat who turned Republican, and then vice versa? Do you know anyone who's a Republican who turned Democrat? Do you know anyone who's a Democrat who just turned Libertarian? Do you know anyone who's a Democrat who just became apolitical? Do you know anyone? I don't know a single person who went from Republican to Democrat. And here's another thing. Do you know anyone who went from being against guns to being pro-gun? Okay. And then the other way, do you know anyone who was anti-gun or who was pro-gun who went anti-gun? I've never met anyone. Yeah, I only know Democrat to Republican. Me too. And I don't know anyone who went from pro-gun to anti-gun. I don't know anyone either. It's not an argument for it being the better way to go. Maybe people are just getting dumber. I'm just saying. I'd like to know how many people I'd like to know. I was looking into the KKK last night. What a fucking fascinating organization. Did you know that in more than half the states in the United States, the KKK killed more white people than black people? I had no fucking idea. Makes me really not like them now. Caller, hi. Mr. Bill.
Well, yeah, I think I texted you this research that came out on the statistics about the rate of patriotism, religion, having children, and community involvement since 1998. In 1998, 60% of Americans thought having children was a very important value. Today, it's 30%. 70% of Americans in 1998 thought patriotism was a very important value. And now it's 38%. Religion, 62% in 1998, 39% of Americans think it's important today. And then also the KFF Health System Tracker just came out. The U.S. life expectancy is now 76 years old. Comparable European countries, many of which have universal health care, government-run health care, 82 and a half years.
Oh, I liked how you slipped that in there. That's bullshit. But go on. Not your numbers, but just how you slipped that in there.
I think you're getting at the crucial question of our age, which is the coming chaos. And I think the shooter in Nashville was just the taste of what's to come.
I don't think the shooter in Nashville is anything special. This is happening just every day, right? By special, I mean unique, right? Like people are trying to make it into a big deal. It's like, dude, like there's tons of crazies. Like we have crazies.
But you should look at what the left ascribes to the right. So what do they say about Republicans in Tennessee? They're committing a genocide against trans people. You should always look at that as them looking at a mirror of what they want to do to the people who are opposed to the trans ideology.
Well, I agree with you 100% there. You should. Socialists and Democrats will stack bodies like cordwood. They have no fucking value for life. Their whole thing is kill anyone who doesn't agree with them. If that's what you're saying, I agree. I've never said that on the air, but they are a scary fucking group of people.
They project.
Yeah, they are a scary fucking group of people, for sure. For sure.
The only thing
history shows that, by the way. Bill and I aren't here just like postulating. These motherfuckers will fucking kill you if you don't believe in their inclusion.
I mean, think of World War II. Think of after World War II.
Yeah.
And after World War I. 3 million ethnic Germans were killed after each of those wars as supposed, justice or retribution. This hopefully doesn't get that scary, but it kind of goes back to the question you're bringing up about guns, because we're kind of on the precipice where tensions are so high.
I was trying not to make it about guns. I blew that. Everyone just knew what I was doing. I wasn't even slick about that.
Yeah, but I mean, now the point is, like, there are no longer mediating institutions or beliefs that we can rely on to navigate tensions. So the tinderbox is set for a flame.
Why is that? What was that thing you said? Why is it tinderbox set? Because what? Because we're not what?
Because like the survey I talked about, no longer do people think patriotism or religion or having a family is important to them.
Yeah.
We're becoming an increasingly individualistic society without anything beyond ourselves that unite us.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's never too much to talk about the tensions or the risk of kinds of violence that we haven't seen before, because we haven't seen these kinds of social conditions before.
Well, thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Yep. Thank you. Always.
Yeah.
You're always welcome to call, Mr. Bill. Do you think that there was this thing that Greg Glassman used to say at the CrossFit Level 1s about how CrossFit was this methodology that allowed the human genome, your DNA, to express itself in its fullest. And some of the ideas that one, because of the movement, but two, because of the diet, you would eat in that zone diet, and it would keep your hormone levels just level. And he felt like disease came from fucking hormone levels that did this. And he didn't feel that way. He studied it and came up to that conclusion. And then he felt like the CrossFit, the movement, also allowed with the constantly varied functional movement, that you were sort of replicating something that happened in real life. And therefore there was this combination of nutrition and movement that allowed you to express. Do we all kind of agree on that idea, that there is an expression? And then he would say, yo, so if you're a girl and you get huge thighs, or if you're a dude and you get a big ass waist, like, hey, that's just the way what you were supposed to. Don't fight it. But you had to work really hard to see that full expression, right? To see that fucking rich froning. You had to work really hard. You had to be disciplined with the diet and the movement, right? We all kind of agree on that. And then there's things in history that have in the clinical sense, not in the playful sense, have retarded that. So, for example, shoes, right? Joe Westerland, one of the great coaches on planet Earth today, out of Omaha, was sharing with me one time that he felt ankle flexion is what led to a lot of the, and I'm sorry, Joe, if I'm fucking this up, the spirit of it's right, that ankle flexion, people wearing shoes or not having good ankle flexion, what led to knee injury, which led to hip injury, which led to back injury, that basically there was a there was an effect from the extremities heading towards the core of the body, because we do things to sort of retard our natural, oh, you want me to add some other people in there? Okay. Burbia, the express. Yeah. Danny Spiegel, great example, right? What a fucking insane fucking expression. How cool is that? I don't know who John Pera is. Kalipa. Yeah. What a fucking savage. What a crazy expression, right? Of what CrossFit can do. So we agree with that. And as we do things, we retard this process, as we've added things to it that maybe should have been used sparingly, but are used like every day, right? So shoes would be cool, like on a day that it's frozen, or if you're going to battle, shit like that, right? Oh, look, listen, Kevin, don't get crazy. Don't get fucking crazy and start trying to talk sense to them. The gun issue is a non-issue, zero compared to fentanyl, zero. Dealing with the gun issue is like dealing with the gun issue to help America is like dealing with the police to help racism. It's idiocy. It's complete fucking idiocy. The fentanyl problem would be if we could stop fentanyl, if we could close our border, if we took care of our country like that, the amount of benefits that would come would be nuts. Dude, I bet you shootings would drop in half. It'd be crazy. Crazy. Don't start talking real talk. Look at his, even his name is the real Kevin. Trying to talk sense into someone. Easy, buddy. That's my job. You guys just act crazy in the comments. Don't start trying to talk fucking smart like me. So there's things you have to do. If you don't, this 10,000 step thing, like if you're not walking every day, your body's not doing what it was supposed to do. There's just this shit your body's supposed to do. If you're looking at your phone, do you think there was ever a time in humanity when our eyes were in the previous, the expression of how we're supposed to express ourselves, our DNA, our these great fucking godly gifts we've received as these bodies? There was ever a time when we looked like this for 6 hours a day? No, we're looking that way. Do you think that people naturally feel better and healthier who can see further distance to the horizon? It's obvious what you need to do to be healthy, right? You need to live in the way that you were designed to live. You have a car, you have this body, and if you don't live the way it's supposed to design, things are going to become uncomfortable for you. Things are going to become very uncomfortable for you. I'll play this for you. Here we go.
A society grows great when old men plant trees, the shade of which they know they will never sit in. Good people do things for other people. That's it, the end.
You think that's true?
All along it was a fever.
A society grows great when old men plant trees, the shade of which they know they will never sit in.
A society grows great when old people plant trees, knowing they'll never sit in the shade of those trees. Everyone get what that means? You're out there just doing shit that's not going to benefit you. Although you are getting the benefit of planting the tree, digging the hole, getting strong.
Good people do things for other people. That's it, the end.
You think that's part of the operating system too? We established that it's like moving and how you eat. You think this plays a part right here? Good people.
All along it was a fever.
You think being good is fun? You think being good is fun? You think that's like healthy? You think that's good for you to be good?
A society grows great when old men plant trees, the shade of which they know they will never sit in. Good people do things for other people.
We're going to make the presupposition here. I apologize, but that being good is good. That it's more funner. It's the more funnest. It's the funsiest. You walk up to the trash can at the park, you throw something in the trash can, you see something on the ground. Why don't you pick that up and throw that in the trash can? You walk by some shit on the ground, you have poop bags. Why don't you pick it up? You think if you did do that stuff, it would make you healthier? You think that you think you'd like yourself more? I think that people who don't do that hate themselves. And that it's a really tight loop. They don't even know, and their life sucks. And no one wants to pick the poop up and pick that stuff up. No one wants to do that. No one wants to do that. But when you do it, you feel so good. Because, Sevan, why don't you put your shopping cart away? Because I believe in the youth of America. And I believe in job creation. And I used to collect shopping carts, and I loved it. Sure as fuck don't need some old motherfucker taking my job under some do-gooder fucking bullshit assumption. Thank you. I'm Sevan Matosian, and I approve of this message. Now, there's a time to put your cart away. And there's a time not to. You just pulled your Lambo up, and it's a tight parking spot. You put the cart and you move a cart. You get a cart from the carriage and bring it over and block someone from parking next to you. Shopping cart theory. Thank you. And listen, I'm not saying you have to pick up every piece of trash, every piece of dog poop. You have to put your cart away. I ruin my story. I'm trying to be melodramatic here. Okay, here we go. Here we're going to get to the fun stuff. You ready? This is going to get connected. The whole point is we should be doing what we were meant to do. If you want to be happy, I'm just saying if you want to be happy. Here we go. And this is I don't want to hate on Joe, but there is my frustration of Joe Rogan right here. Because he did this with the fucking pandemic, and it's just like, you know, I mean, Vellner called me an absolutist, but fuck it, then I'm an absolutist. I ain't playing this game. I'm not playing this game, but here you go. Thank you, Mr. Rogan, for this tidbit. Here we go.
Okay, University of South Australia researchers are calling for exercise to be a mainstay approach for managing depression, as a new study shows that physical activity is 1.5 times more effective than counseling or the leading medications. Of course it is.
Well, there he goes. Thank you, Joe. Of course it is. You don't need anyone to tell you that. You can go test that out yourself. You don't movement and diet trump all medication and all counseling. All. If you're not doing movement and diet, then counseling and medication is pointless. You've outsourced. Now we're back to, you think that there's a cure for cancer. You have a different way of thinking. You could think both. You can take responsibility and then also try some of these other things. Pay someone to talk to.
Of course, and probably, and I don't want to say the cause of anyone's individual depression because there's no way I can know. But
there you go. That part. Fuck that. I'd scratch that part. Ignore that part.
I think probably a lot of people are depressed because they're not moving.
Yeah. I think probably no, because they're not moving. Listen. Every single one of your thoughts, you don't have to believe anyone on this. You can sit perfectly still and see that every single one of your thoughts is connected to your body, to some sensation in your body. Once you prove that to yourself, no one will ever take that from you. No one will ever take that from you. Every single person can do it. Don't outsource that. Sit perfectly still. Learn that every single thought is connected to a sensation in your body. It could take a while. Sit on your knees. Hear the thoughts. This hurts. This is uncomfortable. I'm going to hurt myself. Every thought is connected to a sensation in the body. I almost feel bad in saying that they're connected because they're closer than connected. Rogan's solution to everything is psychedelics. I don't know, right there. I think he was proposing some movement there. But here's the thing about this. You don't have to trust my opinion on this. Anyone can just go out and just experiment this. Free the beaver. You don't have to trust anyone. It's the same thing with God. You don't have to outsource that. You don't have to. You don't have to be a believer. You can become a knower. And so there's this thing called mentally ill. Those are thoughts that aren't being that we don't see as that we're not inclusive of. There's these people that are mentally ill. By the way, another just shallow term. Do you see? It's just separating. These are all naming is the origin of particular things. It's all just separation and distinction, and all of those things are part of the fabric of the chaos. Those aren't for the people who are making the solution. Mentally ill, dude. Mentally ill is you guys know that's made up, right? That's just someone just categorizing a bunch of thoughts. So I think about killing myself all the time, so now I'm mentally ill. Yeah, everyone has anxiety, everyone has depression, but I'm telling you, if you do the things that your body's supposed to do, you eat right, you move, you do the things, you take your shoes off a little bit, You make sure you're moving a shitload. You start eating right. You don't eat the shit that your car wasn't supposed to eat. You don't squeeze your car into parking spots it's not supposed to be in. Let the body make some noise. Don't let your mind be the one telling you what to do. And I know most of you know that because you work out like a motherfucker. Yeah. I mean, we know, right? All of us know you got to work out and you got to eat right, and 1.5 times better than meds or counseling. We've done the studies and we are 1.5 times more. Put your hand over someone's mouth and block their air holes. You will get an immediate response. An immediate response. God, I saw this. I don't even know if I should. Ugh. I saw this number 7. Someone sent me this post that, and I'm not even sure if I understand it. I should probably research it a little more. But it was showing, you ready for this? That when electricity was invented and they started like putting electricity in everyone's homes and people were stopped using candles, they had all of this. I think it's called cottonseed oil, and they didn't know what to do with it. So they turned it into Crisco. And that's what Crisco is. Do you remember that shit? I would be in foreign countries and there would be just huge warehouses full of these huge steel cans of oil, Crisco oil, that said from the United States government that we would give to countries. And it was fucking, and they loved us for it. Us. And it was just big, huge cans of Crisco. And it's candle wax, poisonous candle wax. That's what it was turned into. I think I need, you guys want to see that it's a little laborious. We'll see here. We'll show it a little bit. I got it. If I don't show it now, I'm never going to show it because I'm kind of scared to show it because I haven't done enough research on it. Here we go. Oh, I guess we didn't have the music. In 1911, William Proctor and James Gamble, we know them, right? Procter and Gamble ran into a slight problem. They had found a way to turn the rotting, rancid, dark, ugly piles of cottonseed into a hard-like substance using a process called hydrogenation. But electrification was taking over the landscape, meaning people didn't need candles anymore, right? These fuckers had invented candles, I guess, Procter and Gamble. And then electricity came, electrification. And the need for candles was quickly diminishing. So they decided, like many other cottonseed oil distributors, to overcome the hurdle of the housewife and train her to trust the brand, not to worry about the ingredients. Cottonseed oil at the time had a very mixed reputation. Some found it an adulterant, as it was commonly used to cut into expensive olive oil, much like corn syrup is often used to cut into honey. I didn't know that. Is that true? That's gross. That's sacrilege, by the way. Doesn't that sound just like you're going to burn in hell? Okay, so you beat up 3 guys outside of a bar for no reason. Okay, I'm God. I'll give you a pass on that. Whoa, what's this? What, God? It says here that you cut bees' honey with high fructose corn syrup. Sir, I did not do that. Well, I have images of you doing it right here. Are you lying to God? Okay, once I did it. To hell with you. And then you get banished. It was commonly used in more industrial applications, making consumers wary. So Procter & Gamble convinced consumers to trust the brand, not worry about the devil in the details, and focus on the assumed purity of factory food. They were successful. Within 5 years, over 60 million cans of Crisco were being sold every single year. They convinced the population they didn't need to know what was in it as long as it came from a trusted brand. Now, here's where it gets really crazy. You ready? Listen up, you Harvard-educated fucktards. You ready? They sold the candle wax alternative to unassuming housewives by convincing them that it had been made to appear it would make them appear more well-off and more intelligent and more pure. Only the poor backwoods folks would still be using lard and tallow. They sold the candle wax alternative to unassuming housewives by convincing them that it would make them appear more well off. Get your fake titties today. There you go. Who knows if it's true? But I'm not surprised. Are you? Okay, candle wax. Funny now, right? Because that's the whole thing. That's the Liver King and the Paul Saladino, and that's like everyone's switching back to tallow. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. You guys ready? Here we go.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it, body paint. You don't have to do it. God damn it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Look at it. It's a guy. He's in purple
Don't
face, orange face,
do it, body
yellow
paint.
face,
You don't
white
have
face,
to do it. God.
black face. The body paint store sells the paint, and the guy has black face. I didn't even know duck fat, huh? Quack, quack. Send me photos. Speaking of fake boobs, my girlfriend goes in next month. Oh, I see. Hold on a second. And Dean, I don't argue everything. I just argue against dumb shit like banned cars because people die in accidents. Mass shootings aren't accidents. They are very intentional. Listen, think about that. We know the cause. They're not accidents anymore, dude. We know the cause. Listen to the word fuckery that you're fucking yourself with. I'm not trying to justify or talk you out of your fucking ideas on guns. Don't think I am. The only thing I'm asking you to do is look at the consequences of if we do put gun laws. Just at least tell me what the consequences are, because no one told me the consequences of masks, and now we're suffering them. Just tell me what the consequences of guns are. I'm not arguing with you at all that you think that there should be some rules so fucking morons don't get it. Let's agree there. But please, that doesn't mean you have to argue to the point where you become fucking idiotic. Listen to this. I just argued against some shit like banning cars. You're saying because people die and it's not intentional from cars that somehow that makes it better or worse than intentional killing? That what would be interesting is if you heard the Seth Gruber argument on abortion. There's all these ways that people talk about where it's okay to kill a baby, like if you were raped, if the baby was tarded, if you weren't what they say to all the Democrats say to the black people, you can't afford to raise it. God forbid you raise poor. Like there's something wrong with it. What if you don't want a girl? Do you think that when you fuck someone and they get pregnant, it's an accident? There's never been an accidental birth. I don't even care if you were using birth control. I'm putting you all on notice. You put a dick in a vagina and it is not an accident if someone gets born, pregnated. You don't get a zygote, sperm meeting an egg. This thing that you're hovering around as a legitimate argument, intentional versus accident, is nuts. It would be nuts. I could sort of see where you were going if we still just didn't know how people died. Like we got to the car accident and we're like, fuck, how'd they die? But we know how they died. We could stop it. And now it's our responsibility. The same way it's our responsibility to try to stop gun violence, right? We know now. We can't play stupid. Oh, it's an accident. It's not an accident. I just told you. Speeding, intoxication, texting. It's just, you're not seeing the way you're thinking. That's what I was going to in the beginning. You have to just see the way that you're thinking. All of a sudden, something's justified because it's fucking an accident. It's a cop-out. It's God. God did it. At that point, accident's just like the mystery, right? It's just God. That's why I keep saying it's God. Why not just say, well, then all those people were supposed to die who got killed by guns because it was just an accident they were at that school. Matt Burns with a very important question. What about premature ejaculation prior to entering the vagina? I'm going to give you like, no, if you're close enough to a girl to where you know that your ejaculate could get on her vagina, it's not an accident. I hope that helped you. But you should know I'm a accountability and responsibility purist. Well, that's very poignant, Eric. As a young man, aspiring filmmaker, I never was an aspiring filmmaker, even though I carried a camera everywhere. I was walking through the streets of Santa Barbara through Isla Vista, and a man took his Audi, or was it a Saab, and drove it into a crowd of kids while I was standing there, and killed 5 kids and fucked up shitloads of others. And he jumped out of the car and he said, I did this on purpose. I am the angel of death. All of a sudden, David's usually very critical of me, of all my gay talk, and now he's just begging for it. Hey, it's a personal choice to drive. Yeah, how about those people who are walking in the street? It was the personal choice for them to walk in the street too. You know the risk. Where the fuck is the personal choice of some little kid going to school and getting shot? That's not. Your argument is dead. Incredible. You are something else, buddy. Let's see. What's this? Number 20. Oh, we did that. That's blackface. So I guess if they really wanted to stop blackface, they could just get rid of all black paint. There's I was listening to this thing the other day. There's one of the things that happened. One of the things about the KKK was they would persecute people for things that weren't laws against, right? So they would go after black people for doing things or being places, or white people for doing things. If there were white people defending, like I said, in 43% of, no, what was it? In 53 was, I can't remember, but slightly more than half the states in the United States, the KKK killed more white people than black people in those states, which is crazy. And usually it was because they were somehow siding with melanated people. By the way, 360,000 also Northerners died in the Civil War. White Northerners died. But the KKK was the Democratic Party. They enforced things that weren't actual laws, and that's what the woke crowd does. They're the in Antifa and shit. They're the Democratic Party's arm of terrorism, like making sure people lose their job if they do blackface. That's all the woke shit. They're the KKK. They're the modern day KKK. And now what's funny is they'll also go after black folk who side with white folk, right? They'll go after them too, like Larry Elder, like the LA Times. They're the arm of the KKK, the media arm. They said that he's basically a white man in blackface, the guy who ran for mayor. He was or governor of California. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Lynchings. Those motherfuckers hung people. They hung like I think that another interesting thing is they want the records for most white people hung by the KKK in a year was 161, and then most black people they hung in a year was 162 or something, or vice versa. I can't remember, but it was only off by 1. Kind of nuts, right? You don't hear about that shit. I didn't see it. Candace Owens documentary on BLM. I missed it. I didn't see it. Sevan, why does the show with Danielle Brandon keep getting postponed? You know what? I love your name, Hope. And I like the way you keep saying postponed, because these dickheads here in the chat will just rip me for it, saying she's never coming. I think it's just clickbait. Just for a variety of reasons. I'll give you one example. One day she got called for like some event she had the opportunity to do at Universal Studios in Florida. And she just called and was like, hey, I'm going to be here for 3 hours and I won't get home until this time. But she's cool as shit about it. I ain't hating. The Danielle Brandon show is like my sex life, says Sean. I hope it happens tonight, but it probably won't. Doesn't mean I can't try again tomorrow night. What's the obstacle? What's the obstacle? The Greatest Lie Ever Sold. Great documentary by Candace Owens. Okay, I'll check it out. No, Heidi Kroom with the genius comedy talk. No matter how much foreplay, Danielle Brandon is never coming. Shut it, David. You shut it. Hey, the reason why she's not coming is because this is a show about gay men. Wouldn't that be awesome if I was really gay? What if I started dating Alex Smith? Fuck. I wonder how butthurt Danny would be. 528. No, we already showed that one. Oh, here we go. Oh, we already showed this one too? Oh, yeah, we already showed. Wow, what's wrong with me? I thought I cleaned my shit up. No matter how much I tried to get organized. Oh, I like this one. This one's kind of cool. You guys have heard of train jumping? You know what train jumping is? You jump on a train and you ride it. Someone sent me this. David sent me this. This is just a montage of tranny jumping. You've heard of train jumping? This is tranny jumping. Look at. I mean, social media is crazy. Someone sent me a clip of this tranny just like fucking full blown. Oh, what was that? Dude, that backwards jump is crazy. That looks scary. I'd like to see the outtakes of this. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I used to have my boys jump on those. I would go to the park and have them do all sorts of crazy tricks. If you go back and look at the old Three Plane Brothers, I used to have them jump on these portable benches. Unfortunately, my son Ari broke his ankle while trying to make an Instagram video one time. Yeah. I cannot lie. Here we go. I want you to look at this. This is the idiocy of the world again. Here we go. This is the superficiality of the world we live in. Proposed bill in California could ban Skittles. But it's not Skittles. They're highlighting Skittles. This guy says, yes, ban chemicals in food. It's out of hand. Yeah. Why not just say it what it is? Because we're too stupid? There's something fucking poisonous in Skittles. I think Skittles are banned in some European countries. AB 418 would ban the sale of foods containing chemicals and more. Chemicals. What does that word mean, chemicals? Doesn't everything have chemicals in it? Chemicals. I mean, just idiot talk. We live with idiots. No mental illness. What is a chemical? Chemical is any substance that has a defined composition. In other words, a chemical is always made of the same stuff. Some chemicals occur in nature. Yeah. No one cares. Lazy, asleep at the job, You could just plant your own apple tree. Kind of stop outsourcing that shit. But we'll get better. We just got to just keep asking questions. We got to just keep asking questions. Tranny jumping versus train jumping. I thought it was cute. I thought it was funny. Uh-oh, I'm kind of nervous about this. Oh, here we go. Okay, David. I find this chick so fucking attractive, this chick I'm about to show you. And I'm just curious if you guys find this girl attractive. Hi, Paulina. What's up, girl?
What's up? I have a story for you.
Okay, great.
So,
I was just about to show a hot chick. Make sure after we get off, you look at this chick. I want you to know. I showed the eighth wonder of the world the other day, but I'm going to show this other chick that I'm just like, I want this chick on the podcast so bad. But go ahead. Tell me your story.
Okay, cool. So on Monday, whenever I was going to the gym in the morning, I had seen all these cops pretty much like lined across the street and down the highway and stuff. And so I was like, oh, well, that's kind of weird. Like, that's not usually what the street looks like. And so get to the gym and everybody's talking about how this kid who, like somebody had been breaking into cars last night. And so that's what all the cops are out for, because they were looking for this guy. And all the garage doors were down in the gym, and it was getting hot in there. And so I was doing my workout, and I was like, can I open the doors? So everybody started opening up the doors, and literally within like 10 minutes, some kid comes walking in, and the coach walks up to the kid, and he's like sweating, and he's like all muddy and stuff. And so didn't put two and two together, and he was like, I'm lost. I don't want to call my mom because she's going to get mad. Like, I was looking at, I was sleeping over at my friend's house. And so she was like, okay, just go chill in the office, like, so that I can watch him from here. And so he goes and sits in there, and he was asking for a ride home. And so I was like, okay, let's call the cops. And in that case, they can take him home so that we don't have to worry about it.
That was your idea? That was your idea?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, cops come, and that was the kid who was breaking in the cars last night.
Wow. What time was that at?
It was a 5:30 class in the morning.
Wow. Well, good on you. How old was the kid? Did he have mud on his face? Would you say he was doing blackface?
He was 12.
Oh. I wonder if a 12-year-old could get in trouble for that. Oh, well, good job. Good job being. Oh, look at someone. Shooter McGavin says, you fucking snitch. You can't do anything perfect, Paulina.
Okay. Lose.
Thank you for the story. I'm glad you're safe.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye. Story from Paulina. First time I think she's called. My wife was at the tennis club the other day, and there were these three young girls in this training room where the bathroom is. So anytime you want to go to the bathroom at the tennis club, you have to walk through this training room, and there's these three young girls in there. I always see them in there, dressed totally fucking inappropriately, like 13 years old, working hard. What the fuck am I supposed to say anything? Dress any way you want. You're working out. I'm proud of you. So they're in there. They're always in there working out, and so the 10 cops are walking around the tennis club. My wife's tripping. She got like shooter anxiety, right? She's so happy our kids don't go to school because she has shooter anxiety. By the way, I have no shooter anxiety like that. It's just hard to worry about that stuff. Anyway, unless you send your kids to school, then you might want to be worried. But so there's 10 cops around the tennis club, and they went into there was a guy in there. There was a guy they're looking for who had been reported to hanging out around the tennis club, and his van was outside, and he was selling drugs out of his van, supposedly. And the cops went in there. And let me tell you, these are like 13-year-old girls with like their tits pushed up to their chin and shit, barely clothed. They're always in there working out, these girls. And the cops walk into that room looking for the guy, and they don't find the guy. 5 minutes later, one of the girls goes and finds one of the cops, and they're like, hey, man, that motherfucker's hiding in the stalls. I was like, oh, man, come on, cops. There's 3 fucking young girls in there, and you're looking for a fucking criminal, and he was hiding in a bathroom stall, and you didn't catch him? The room's tiny, by the way. The room's 20 by 20 with 2 bathrooms that are 10 by 10. Dear police officers, please look in the stalls. Always. Okay. I saw this and I was just like, man, I really would like to get this. I like this girl. This is just a lot of fucking woman right here. Look at this. I've never really seen this side of my wife. I think it's in her somewhere. I think this is I think my wife has this in her. I just haven't seen it. Here we go. Maybe I just like the music. Look at this. Just sit the fuck down. This girl slows down to look. She slows down to shove that girl down. That's the part I'm tripping on. She doesn't even like. She could have just run away. Nah. Slows down and just mushes her. I wonder if that's legal. God, I love the music too. Goodbye. Crazy, right? Anyway, I find that very attractive. Yeah, I don't know if that's called big dicking, but it's something. The old stiff arm, yeah. Slows down and just mushes her. Oh yeah, you think she has a big head? Now you think that's a big ass head? Maybe that's why I'm attracted to her. It's not just the violence. Man. My kids at least one of my kids gets that move, by the way, from me every day. At least one. A hand to the head and push down. Sometimes they think it's funny, sometimes they don't. My wife hates that when I do that to them. Obviously not that hard. But the old head smush it's a good move. Boys are great. I don't know if you're allowed to do that shit to girls. I like to do this other thing where I grab a handful of hair on the back of my kid's head and then put my hand on his face and just lean him back down to the ground gently. They just completely just fucking take them by their head. They don't even know what happened. You have to do it gently, people. Don't anyone get crazy. You got to do it gently. You got to build up to that. You don't want to fucking scar your kid. Don't be like, oh, Sevan does this to his kid, so I'm going to do it to mine. You got to like purebred. She's a purebred. Like, what do you mean? Like, she's like something like that's just like from some tribe in Australia where just brothers and sisters have been fucking for like 200, 300, 500, 1,000 years. Yeah, absolutely. That bitch is not vaccinated. A needle breaks off in that woman, just like in the cartoons, like it hits her skin and just bends. Oh, dude. I love it when they accidentally punch themselves in the balls. I do all that stuff, Mr. Waddell. They keep coming back for more. They can't get enough. They always want to, can you make me hit myself? Oh yeah, sure. Come on over here. No problem making you hit yourself. Yeah. All right. Anyway, so there you go. That's the hot lady of the day award. Or mating with her is like, you know those bugs where you got to like tiptoe up to the chick to get her or else she kills you. I think like the praying mantis is like that and the black widow is like that. It's like that. Oh, a little clip from Fight Club. When I saw Fight Club, I did not understand it at all. And I've never watched it since all these smart people around me have tried to explain it to me. I did not understand it at all. I didn't understand, like, how come some of the characters are like imaginary and some are real? Like, I didn't understand it at all. I was the poster child for Blue Pill. God, life was good. Talk about being ignorance is bliss.
Advertising has us chasing cars and clothes, working jobs we hate, so we can buy shit we don't need. We're the middle children of history, man. No purpose or place. We got no Great War, no Great Depression. Our Great War is a spiritual war. Our Great Depression is our lives. Advertising has us chasing cars and
If you are a young man, I cannot speak to the women. If you are a young man and you are extremely disciplined, and you have a singular focus to try to figure out the meaning of life and if there's a God, and you don't attempt homelessness, you're missing out on the greatest opportunity you will ever have. I encourage any young man to just at one point in his life put on a jacket and walk out the door. Pick a warm climate if you have to. Pick a couple activities you suck at that you want to get better at. And just live the homeless life. It'll be the best 2 years of your life, but you have to be extremely disciplined. You can't be into drugs or alcohol. You have to be in pursuit of something, some really, really high power. Caller, hi.
Hey, I was just hearing what you were saying and was wondering, what would you say to someone who can't just put on a jacket and walk out the door like they've already got, a home, family, kind of going through the motions? What's the alternative?
Yeah. Oh, man. The thing is, that's a fucking great question. Do you have kids?
Yeah, 2 of them. And wife, home, car, pretty regular life. Just kind of trying to figure out though, like, just feel like I'm going through the motions and not a lot that excites me. Just kind of in survival mode, I guess. So, yeah, I was just curious what you'd say to someone like that.
It's interesting. It's interesting how many times I wake up to the same realizations. Like I realize something, and I'm like, fuck. I realized that last month. I really fell back asleep again. And then like 2 months go by and I realized the same thing again. I'm like, oh my God, I fucking fell asleep again. And like I realize these things that make my life better. And usually what they're all about, these things that I keep forgetting, are deep behaviors and ways that I treat my kids that they reflect back at me that makes my life great. So anytime I'm having issues with my kids, at some point I realize, holy shit, it's me. And sometimes it'll take a week, right? Sometimes I'll be like yelling at my kids about the same thing that they do in the car every single fucking day for a week until I finally realize, dude, that is not working. They are obviously reflecting something back at you. And at that point, I realized my kids are my greatest mirrors. So in one way, man, dude, you have the greatest ability. You have the 2 greatest mirrors that any human being will ever have. You have kids now.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just you. I mean, you must see that, right? They're just reflecting you like crazy, right?
Yeah.
And so you can get so much instant feedback. The second I start like crazy respecting my kids, I get that crazy respect back. The second I'm not respecting them, I don't get that respect back. I'm gonna try to give you an example. Like if I yell at them in the so I'll tell you something that happened yesterday. We have this little portable toilet in my van, and Avi's like, dude, I gotta pee so fucking bad. And I'm like, okay. And he jumps in there and he sits on it. And usually I do this thing whenever my kids go to pee. I'll flip their dick up to make sure it's not like curled down over their balls,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know how penises can do that? And I didn't fucking do it. And so it's like freeing the penis. He'd just been skateboarding for an hour and a half. And I look over, and for the first time in 8 fucking years, I was so pissed I had that toilet, because I look over and the back of my van is filling with pee. And I'm looking at him and I'm like, dude, is your penis not in the bowl? And his penis had, because he didn't fucking peel it off his nuts, it had crested his balls, and his penis had crested over the edge of the toilet, and he filled up the whole van. And it would have been an amazing time to just laugh, right? And enjoy that moment. And instead, I was a fucking asshole to him. Fucking ruined a great experience for us. And so those moments for me are like my greatest spiritual practice now, right? That's the only, that's really, my life is like yours. My life is like just this monotonous, like Groundhog Day.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
And I have to like work really, really hard to try to change some of the, really, that's an uncircumcised issue. Dudes who are circumcised, your dick doesn't stick to your balls like that. Someone said, Robbie Gilmore says that's an uncircumcised problem. I never thought of that. I could totally see that, because you got all that skin on the end. Anyway, yeah, I try all the way. Almost everything I do is either through stillness, a stillness practice that I have, that I try to do. I don't know, as much as I can throughout the day, 20 times throughout the day, always when I wake up, always when I sleep, and then just realizing my kids are my mirrors. I wish I could give you something more specific. But no,
that's pretty powerful, actually. I'm taking notes, which is why I was kind of quiet. But I wrote that down. I've never heard that. But the ways that you treat your kids reflect back at you. I mean, I think that's a really true statement. It's kind of hard though, because I look around and a lot of my friends are, not even married yet. So it's just interesting navigating life and kind of at this young age. Yeah, no, that makes a lot
How
of
old
sense.
are your kids?
2 and 4, and I'm 27. So
wow, yeah. Hey, I don't know. What ethnicity are you?
Purebred American or Caucasian?
Oh, yeah, okay. Did you have an affectionate family?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so you're crazy affectionate to your kids.
Yeah, I try to be present. I mean, we weren't really planning on having our first when we did.
Yeah.
So sometimes like some bitterness creeps in, but I checked that pretty quick.
Yeah, good.
Try to.
Yeah, that's kind of celebrate that and celebrate those successes when you do. And something I just don't talk about enough, but I'm crazy affectionate with my kids. And I just think that's like the greatest gift we can give them, and then they give back to us. Just crazy physically affectionate. So like I'll go in, as soon as the show's over, I'll go in and pick up each kid and just hold them and put my hands up the back of their shirt and nibble on their ears until they just can't stand it. You know what I mean? They're like a cat, right? They start biting you and shit. They go crazy because if you give them too much love. But yeah, just bombard them with tons and tons of love. Dude, you're smart to be looking to be asking these questions, and I'm sure that they're going to grow up. You're blessed with them. Those kids are your spiritual. Those are your tools. You have to figure out how to use them to make yourself better. Those are your tools.
Yeah, damn. Writing that down too.
Yeah, those are your guys. You have to. They are going to reflect you. Kevin M says, practice gratitude with your kids. I wish I knew what that meant exactly. Say what you are thankful for every day with them. Oh, that's cool. My wife does that. And at night, talk about family values when putting them to bed. Yeah, values are important. Do you have values?
What do you say? Family values?
Yeah. Do you have values?
I'm actually working on writing a code that I'll one day pass on to my kids. So just kind of distilling information I've gotten from various books like Ego is the Enemy, Extreme Ownership, the Sevan Podcast, different sources of wisdom. But yeah, I mean, I do have values. I'm just trying to write them down and, kind of get specific with them.
Yeah, I think I would have been better off if I still don't fully understand my values, but I do think that I think that's crazy important. My mom did instill in me, treat other people like you want to be treated. That was huge.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I am a Christian, so that's kind of like the golden rule, right? Like, yeah, love your neighbor as you love yourself, or
right. Even if someone does something fucked up to you, you don't do it fucked up back to them, because you don't want you wouldn't want that done to you.
Yeah.
Your kids are going to get older too. You want to, obviously, and they're like, my goal is, are you close with your family, your mom and dad?
Well, yeah, honestly, that's kind of part of why I called in. It's been like crazy year, because I've been so 27 years I've had no death, no dealings with death. And then January, my grandfather died. Last week, my grandmother died, and I was really close with both.
Yeah.
So I think I've just kind of been going through some kind of existential crisis recently, and heard you talking about just putting on a jacket, walking out the door, and I was like, ooh, that sounds a little too good.
Right. Right.
Can't go there. So yeah, just I figure I'm dealing with grief, and then trying to provide for the family, and just figure out life. So
I'm trying to figure out how my mom kept me so close. Like, I really enjoy being with my mom. So I'll call my mom and just want to hang with her. And I'm trying to crack the code on that, because I want my kids to want to do that.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to and then the other way I want to make sure is see things that maybe I don't like about maybe my mom or my dad that maybe makes me push them away, and try to cut those from myself. But my mom's pretty good at explaining it to me too. She says that we reach a certain age where we just don't want advice anymore. And so she learned to just bite her tongue. And because of that, I kept her close, which I was like, ooh, that's going to be hard.
Yeah. That'll be a tough one. That's cool though. Your mom seems super awesome. I've been following the podcast for a while, so heard various stories.
Are you going to have more kids?
Yeah, third on the way, due in November.
That's awesome.
Just found out last week.
Hey, congratulations. Congratulations. Yeah, that's
thank you.
There's this saying, stop thinking all your problems will end. And that's kind of a good time also when your wife's pregnant, right? Just to kind of forget about yourself.
Yeah.
And probably a lot of people wouldn't say to do that, but I'm a huge proponent of just healthy doses of giving of yourself to other people always seem to make me feel better.
Die to self. Yeah.
Jeremy Eat World says, Sevi, tell him to direct message me.
Jeremy Eat World. Oh yeah, he's got the I think he's got a group for fathers or men.
Yeah,
I think he's called in before.
Yeah. He said, I got a group of dudes who are in the same boat. Yeah, he just came and did a hike with a bunch of dudes in Yosemite.
Oh, nice. Yeah, for sure. I'll DM him. And I've been following the podcast for a while, actually. Yours and Brian, when you guys first started out, got us through. I was renovating our home that we now live in for about 3 months, and we just throw on the podcast and listen to it. So, I don't think I've ever called in and thank you for it before, but, I appreciate what you're doing. Big time. I think a lot of people do. You're having an impact, and even being able to call in and ask these questions that, I honestly probably wouldn't really dare ask anyone close to me, just because I don't really want them knowing.
Right.
It's huge. So I appreciate what you're doing.
Hey, I'm like that too, by the way. I don't want anyone. The only person I turn to is my wife. And maybe my mom. I don't want anyone else. I don't want anyone else. I'm very guarded. I'm so fucking guarded. And and I don't know why. It's not that I'm not trustworthy, and it's not that I don't like being vulnerable, but for some reason, I don't know why. But I hear you
why either, but I get it. Yeah. My wife is, she's the coolest. So I turn to her about almost everything. But.
Yeah, that's awesome. Congratulations. And congratulations on having skills to refurbish your house. I wish I had some of that shit. I take the trash out.
Oh yeah, that's needed. That's important. So. Hey, and I was just gonna say real quick before I hop off is Man, that when you were telling the story about your kid, like that was kind of a solemn moment, so I wasn't going to mention it, but it reminded me of the time you went to you pooped in the back of the van, and Avi, I think, was wearing a Batman mask, but that's like one of the all-time best stories. Like when you first told that, oh my gosh. I think I've gone back to that too. Like I rarely go back to podcasts, but that was so funny. So.
I need to grab. I should. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to grab that clip and play it on this podcast.
Oh yeah, because that was from Josh Matt Sevan, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
Get that over in this library.
Yeah, you should. You should. Cool. Well, thanks again, Sevan.
Yeah, congratulations on the new kid, and congratulations on having a cool wife. You're a very lucky man, and we're all gonna die. And as much as this is crazy to say, congratulations on having the opportunity to go through grieving. It is an opportunity.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. Great point. Appreciate that.
All right, brother.
Hey, thank you.
Yep. Thanks for calling.
Bye. Yep.
Bye. Fucking knucklehead. I didn't have anything practical to tell him. I want to tell him something practical. Look to the heavens, drop on one knee. Repeat after me. I didn't get nothing for him. That was like a real man. 27. I wait till I was fucking 50 to have kids. 43. He's doing that shit at 27. That's a man. That is some man shit. Fuck a chainsaw. A kid at 27. That is some man shit. Yeah, man. Being free was a hell of a fucking experience for me. This should be interesting. What's this? I wrote you can't let's see what this is. What is this? Here we go. Wait. This says this man destroyed
town for his revenge.
This man destroyed a town for his revenge.
Marvin Heemeyer owned a muffler shop in Granby, Colorado that was going through zoning disputes with the city. That all changed when a new concrete plant blocked access to the shop, and the appeal to the city is being ignored, leading him to seek revenge. Then he modified his bulldozer over the course of a year and half with armor plating over 1 feet thick, turning it into an impenetrable tank. He went to town, demolishing the concrete plants, the town hall, the office of a newspaper that wrote against him, the house of a former mayor. The attack lasted over 2 hours, as police shot 100 rounds of ammunition.
Listen, this guy took a bulldozer and modified it into a tank, and police shot hundreds of rounds of ammunition at him while he drove this thing around town, crashing into buildings. And yet, they couldn't just open fire on the fucking rioters at the Capitol. I don't understand how they didn't shoot the rioters at the Capitol. I don't understand how they just didn't bring out truck with fucking crazy fire hoses in Ferguson and just start destroying those fucking people who lit the police station on fire. I don't understand in Seattle how people took over a police station and the cops didn't just open fire at them. How are the cops able to shoot hundreds of rounds at this guy who's not killing or hurting anyone? He's just destroying property. And you have a full-blown city of rioters attacking our Capitol building with our politicians in there. I mean, Ferguson, the BLM riots, why didn't they just fucking open fire on all those fucking people who were destroying shit? You can't do that? I mean, my dad tells me you can't do that. I guess it's not good. It's like opening fire on your own citizens. It's kind of weird. I just don't understand how there could be $760 million in damage in one city and the burning of fucking police stations when police are in them. and you not just be allowed to just start shooting all those people down. Caller, Jeremy is serious, by the way. He does want you to reach out to him. Jeremy Eat World. He's a good dude, and he hangs out with a lot of other cool dudes. What's the point of the Worldwide Open rankings? Does it offer an athlete an advantage? If so, what do you think of Tia not being on the list that came out yesterday? That shit's just fucking nonsense. You know what I really like, Seema, about all that? I know Brian does not. Brian is a very solution oriented man. He wants to bridge the gap. He really wants to help CrossFit, but he's getting pushed to like the limits of just because it's so bad over there. I mean, I'm on this thread and it's just a daily dose of errors CrossFit's making. Like the ones yesterday about Becca Voigt were fucking hilarious. 3 fucking characterizations or facts that they got wrong about her. The number of games she's competed in, number of times she stood on the podium, number of events she's won. I mean, and it to be corrected by, I just love seeing how angry Brian's getting because he doesn't want to. He wants to take the high road. It's like a dam that's leaking, right? And Brian wants to be the guy that's like, hey, twofold. He'll help you repair the outside of the dam, but he also wants to go on the other side of the dam and make sure that the reservoir and the water is not too high. He sees it as this holistic thing that he wants to take care of. He's not just the dam guy. He wants to make sure that the water on the other side is not too high, not too low. It's the right pH, so it's not causing decomposition of the cement or whatever those things that dam people work for. But he's not, and me and Hiller are like, yeah, we'll just detonate a piece of the dam once in a while. Brian does not like that. But Brian's reaching his limits, right? And the worldwide rankings are part of that thing. He's reaching, him and a few other guys are reaching their limits of like, wow, it's literally idiots at the helm. So bad. It's so bad. And what sucks is I have some friends there that like Adrian Bosman, who are just fucking studs, just so good at what they do, but just surrounded by incompetent people. The level of incompetence is basically people those people should quit, but it's a job to them. They need the money, so they don't want to quit. And they're being told that they're doing a good job by people who have no idea. And you have all sorts of people in positions there that have no idea what they're doing, from the highest ranks to the lowest ranks, just being plugged in. I'm all for giving people opportunity, but you better have some leadership in place. Okay, so you can shoot a guy who's in a tractor running into buildings, but full-blown rioters, nah, be good. Chill. What is the expression of a man? Remember we were talking about that before, like a man? Like how many steps a day do you think a man is supposed to walk? You think a man's supposed to, what do you think our ideal biological expression is? You know? Oh, one wife, one God. You think that lots of physical activity, no sugar. What do you think are no added sugar? What do you think? I wonder being around other men. What do you think? With women, it's a little easier to say, right? Because they got some like biological, like, I mean, they're like they make babies. Here we go. And someone's like, and I was talking to someone the other day, and it's like, hey man, you can't just treat them like fucking cattle. Like they're just made to do something, like just give milk. I was like, wow, I'm not even even remotely suggesting that. I'm not even remotely suggesting it. I'm not making some intellectual assumption even. It's just purely biological. It's just like it's just physics and chemistry and biology. It's like if it's raining, to me it looks like the rain is coming from up there and down to here. That's what it's doing. It's just women just are able to have babies with when they have intercourse with men. I'm not, and I do think that if something is made to do something, that probably its best route is to do it. Uh-oh. Am I going to have to hear from 12 Daily Doses about that's what a gun's made to do? Okay, here we go.
If your boyfriend is liking or following a bunch of half-naked girls on Instagram or TikTok or any social media platform, please leave him.
Hey, this is your...
Fascinating, right? So she's saying that if your dude is following half-naked girls on Instagram, you should leave him.
Instagram, right? It's really funny that you hold that opinion when, you know, yeah. Rules for thee, not rules for me.
So basically, then he shows her Instagram account.
If your boyfriend is liking or following a bunch of half-naked girls on Instagram or TikTok or any social media platform, please leave him.
Hey, this is your Instagram, right? It's really funny that you hold that opinion when, you know, yeah. Rules for thee, not rules for me.
Ladies, if your boyfriend is...
I personally think, I who am I to say that you should not follow any of those accounts. I'm for two reasons. For ego reasons, I'm embarrassed for any dude who follows any of those accounts. Like if I scroll by them, like when I scroll by one of these accounts, or if I click on it in my search and I see like some of my friends following, I'm embarrassed for them. I'm embarrassed that they give their time to that publicly. Like you should know. Like it's okay to be ashamed or do some things in secret. It really is. It totally is. It totally is. I'll give you some examples. I'll come back and tell you some things that it's okay to be ashamed of and embarrassed of in a second. Or hide. It's okay to do some things. You're not doing them in secrecy. You don't want anyone to know. Like when you follow an account like that, you're basically saying that that's part of your, it's not wrong to look at that stuff, but you're saying that's part of your daily routine. That's you're hoping that comes up. And I don't get why you would do that to yourself. Like, fuck what it says about like, nothing good's happening for that. Like you're not going to end up banging these chicks. You're not like, why, oh, look, here's Matt Souza. Ladies, if your man is following any accounts that have half naked men jumping rope, they're gay. That's not true. That is fucking not true at all. Listen to him. I don't see where it adds any value to your life. When you see these accounts, it makes you crave something. It would be like I'm following like an account with like Jelly Bellies, right? Like, why would you do that to yourself? Like you follow, like someone might follow like a 1957 Chevy account because they collect 1957 Chevys, or they have one that they're remodeling, and they want to see stuff, and they see things that the other guys are doing to their 57 Chevys, and so they crave those things, and they want to like, and that's okay. I get what you're doing. You're trying to teach yourself and manipulate yourself, and to get the experience and the ideas, so that and you're welcoming that craving, right? We follow some of these athletes, CrossFit athletes, because we welcome that craving. There's we want to be inspired by it. Dude, I'm definitely not super gay yet. Why would you follow any of the titty girls? I don't get it. It's not even like, what are you afraid you're going to lose one of them? Dude, I think that's got to be a mental disorder if you follow any of those girls. Ronnie Eaton. My wife has full access to all my accounts. Also, I do not have Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram anymore. I don't do Twitter or Facebook really either. I don't do Facebook. I won't even go to Facebook. Stop sending me links to Facebook, all of you. I do not go to Facebook ever. In fact, I block social media sites so I can't even waste my time on them. That's probably smart. But I need some of you to be on. Everyone's a little gay. But I'm not even a little gay. I'm not even. Just because I like hogs doesn't mean I'm gay. Okay, I am a little gay. Spicy watermelon. Thank God there wasn't a fucking umbrella in it, and I ate there was a piece of watermelon on the top that was like cut all cute, and that's always the first thing I eat. I do eat garnish. As a kid, I ate garnish. That's pretty gay. Yeah, I'm not into all hogs. If it's not a hog, I'm not into it. So yeah, why are you, even if you don't have a girlfriend, why are you following those accounts? What do you think? How is that good for you? It's like when I used to watch that show Mad Men and he would drink and smoke, it would make me want to drink and smoke. Like, why would you follow some hot chick? You like that that feeling of wanting them. Just unfollow all that shit. You'll never miss it. Trust me, it's going to be pouring into your search anyway. I don't follow any of those fucking accounts. I follow one of those accounts, and it's because the person's a friend of mine. That's it. I'm going to show you my search. What do? I just go to, how do I search? Oh, yeah. Look at my fucking search. It's fucking naked girls, running girls, and Dana White. Look at this bullshit on Instagram here. I'm going to show you this. This is a girl who's walking away from the camera, and then someone taps on her shoulder, and she turns around like it's supposed to be like, and she's shocked. But dude, she's wearing a microphone. Yeah, that's my whole search is just beaver. Look at it. Oh, look at it. And a baby getting its head rubbed. It's just dudes and is that Danny Spiegel in my search? No. Some other beaver. Yeah, it's just kids and beaver. Oh, look, Gal Gadot. Nope, not Gal. Oh, it's a fake Wonder Woman. God, do not see this movie, Shazam. Holy shit. Yeah, right? Don't even, they just bomb you with that shit. Well, it is an algorithm based on what you view the most. I don't know. You just look at one chick and then that thing's fucking forever in there. It just seems crazy if you follow in. It just seems like a crazy waste of time. Oh, here you go. This is, God, I can't believe how perfect the timing is on it. This is why the gun was invented. This is why everything was invented. Pay attention. This is Bon Jovi. John Bon Jovi.
We could have been AC/DC, but the truth of the matter is, do I really want to see 90,000 ugly, sweaty guys, or do I want to see their girlfriend? Truthfully, I got into this for the girls. What do you think I got into it for? Bunch of this? No, I wanted to see this. We could have been AC/DC, But the truth of the matter is, do I really want to see 90,000 ugly, sweaty guys, or do I want to see their girlfriend? Truthfully, I got into this for the girls. What do you think I got into it for? What's this? No, I want to see this.
There you go. Men. So I was thinking about doing that MILF Manor thing with Andrew Hiller. I thought it would be so funny if you know how we do the Frisbee show, that if I watch MILF Manor every week and then I took like the notes on like the clips and then I did a show where we reviewed it, I thought it would be just crazy. But the whole season's done already, and I don't want to do it if the whole season's done. I kind of wanted to like be like on top of it. So I guess that idea is dead. I think I already played this. Excuse me for the sniffle. You guys know not to drink out of styrofoam cups, right? Oh, here we go. This one's crazy. How is this even true? I've thought about playing this a few times and I've been too uncomfortable to play it. I know some of you are like, I love Sevan. He doesn't give a shit. Oh, I give a shit. I give a shit. Trust me. Okay, brace yourself. We just got to get through this. Let's just get through this. Okay, you ready? This is a spelling bee. I think this is real. One of the top comment has 97,000 likes. Sousa, 97,000 likes for the top comment. And the top comment is, he didn't know the right answer, but he was sure of the wrong one. I should call that guy. When this is done, let's see if we can call this guy. You want to? He has 195 followers, but he made a post that has 97,000 likes. Crazy. Okay, here we go.
Negus.
What is the language of origin?
Ethiopian to Amharic.
What is the definition?
A king. It's used as a title of the sovereign of Ethiopia.
By the way, I did look up this word just to make sure that there was, at least this was partially true.
Negus.
Could you use it in a sentence?
The Negus ruled Ethiopia until the coup of 1974.
Wow. Holy cow. Yeah, crazy, right, Susan? 97,000. Oh, my God.
Negus. Negus. Negus.
Absolutely stunned, but he'll take it. Again, when in doubt, sound it out.
Negus.
Crazy. Okay, should we call this dude right here? Hey, let's see his last post. A week ago. Oh shit, he doesn't speak English. What country is this dude? This dude had 97,000 likes. Would there be like a green dot here? I apologize. Look at I'm sorry for anyone who has sent me a text and like your DM can be seen. I wish I didn't. I wish I could hide that, but I can't. So you're fucked. You think I just click here, click here, and it calls the dude? Shit, I'm nervous again. No. I'm never going to call anyone and it get through, huh? Oh, I would have to switch to this screen. It says no answer. I'll show you. It quickly switched to this page. Anyway, okay, we tried. All right, I'm kind of glad I got that out of the way. Word of the day, gone. That for some reason that was making me uncomfortable. I have a video somewhere. Do you guys know who Mark Ripito is? He's he used to be like a SME for CrossFit, subject matter expert for CrossFit Inc. And he teaches like bench press and shit like that. Like I don't know, is it powerlifting? I don't know what it's called, but he teaches like back squat and bench and just some shit like that. Starting strength, yeah. He's a well-respected dude. Him and Greg have had their ups and downs, but Mark's but people respect him. No, he's definitely not a supple leopard. Oh, maybe. What does that mean? You just don't warm up. You just work out. Anyway, I went to one of his seminars once. And it was the first time I ever met him. And I walk right up to him and I go, let me see if I can remember the joke. I go, Mark, are you going to the barbecue today? And he goes, what barbecue? And I said, the one where I put my meat on your grill. And he's a pretty wily man. And I videotaped it, and I have that footage somewhere. And I wanted to show that with this clip right here. I cannot believe how red he is in this clip. This is not good. Look at, I don't have any red in me. How come I have no red in me? Is it because I'm Armenian? Look at this shit. I'm like brown. How the fuck is someone that red? Anyway, this is pretty cool. I just like his presentation. I like this little graphic of the brain attached to the bicep.
I tell you that it's okay for you for the rest of your life to lift light weights and just do a lot of volume, then I'm telling you it's okay to be a pussy. Because if you never lift weights that are heavy enough to constitute a threat to your fifth rep, your last rep of the work set, then you're being a pussy. You get strong by lifting heavier weights. And at some point, that heavier weight is going to cause you to question your ability to lift it. Now, if you rack it, then you're being a pussy. But if you try it anyway, then you're not being a pussy. If you try it anyway and it goes up like it should if you've selected the weight correctly, then you're not a pussy and you're doing the program correctly. If you try it anyway and you miss it, well, at least you tried it and now you know something. Either way, you've got data from trying the thing you don't know whether you can do. If I tell you...
right? Don't be a pussy. You think that's alcohol that makes someone red like that? I love the shape of his head, and I love his voice. And I like his eyes and his beard. God, he's groomed meticulously. Yeah, you're just over the music. Yeah, I hear you. Really? Low bars for pussies? I think he taught me low bar. I don't mind low bar. I do both. Low bar, high bar. Actually, what am I saying? I don't really back squat, period. I pretty much only front squat. It's probably stupid, right? Okay. Anyway, great clip. Don't be a pussy. Beef, beer, and more beer. Oh, and bears. Beef, beer, and bears. Gray goes 07. Here goes Sevan with the head thing again. You're telling me that you guys don't automatically fixate on this dude's fucking head? Is there anyone who's not like, doesn't see them and be like, yep, that dude has a man head. That thing's a fucking block. That thing's a rectangle. That thing's got more angles than curves. Goes with the head thing again. How can you not see his head? There's only two things I see. Three things. I see the color, I see his shoulders, and I see his head. No, you don't see his head? Really? No one else sees the shape of his head? Oh, someone sent me more Chat GPT, just bullshit again. What a fucking joke. Someone asked Chat GPT to make a fucking joke about Jesus. It said, hey, will you tell me a joke about Jesus? And Chat GPT said Jesus doesn't like hockey. You know why Jesus doesn't like hockey? And then you say why? And it says because he doesn't want to be nailed to the boards. And then someone asked Chat GPT, will you make a joke about whatever the Muslims have? That dude that you're not supposed to have a picture of. Muhammad Ali. And Chat GPT's like, no, I can't do that. That would be inappropriate and blah, blah, blah. It's like, shut the fuck up. When I look at Hiller, what's the first thing I noticed? I don't know. I'll tell you, maybe his hair, his eyes. I used to think he fake baked. I used to notice his skin color. I used to see that in Rich too. Like, why are you orange? Do you eat a shitload of carrots or what? Anyway, I think I should save that. I'm gonna save that clip because I like Mark Ripito saying "Don't be a pussy." Oh man, that page has been taken down. I hate to just fucking judge someone by the way they look. But I do it. I don't want to do it, but I do it. It's like that rattlesnake yesterday. It's not that I don't want to do it. That's not true. I want to do it. I want to judge you by the way you look. I want to have discernment and assessment in the way you look. Sorry, I'm looking at text now. Wow, what is that? I just don't want to. I don't want to hold someone hostage to that judgment or that discernment. You know what I mean? Like I see Danielle Brandon, I see her hair dyed blue. I think woke, but like then I meet her and I'm like not woke. You know what I mean? Like I see a pit bull and I think, okay, if that thing latches onto me, I'm fucking dead. But maybe it's the nicest dog, like everyone says, it licks your face and they're sweetest dog ever. But when I see this, child abusers say their son let them know he was a girl before age 3, and they transitioned him. You all wonder why I'm pushing these industrial strength wood chippers and preaching Matthew 18:16. Wow, that's kind of hard. Industrial strength wood chippers, like to throw these people in. If I said something like that, my wife would, I would get a stern talking to. She might even stiff arm me. Maybe that's what I need to do. I want to get stiff armed by her like that. But I just look at this lady and I just know she's mentally ill. Like that's just where I would go. What do you mean by mentally ill, Sevan? She has some thoughts that she struggles with. She's not a cool person. She doesn't look inwardly at herself. She doesn't take personal responsibility, personal accountability. She has a lack of balance. Maybe mentally ill is a lack of balance between looking at the outside world for solutions and looking inward. Maybe that you need a good, there's some sort of 70-30. When you cross over, when you're more than 31%, wow. Maybe I am Sigmund Freud reincarnated. But I just see this and I'm like, well, yep, that's something's not right. But I see this fucking crackhead and I know something's not right either. Like if you're doing that, like there's probably not something right about you either. Let's not get it twisted. And if you talk about putting people in a wood chipper, something's not right with you either. He's trying to fix all his problems on the outside too. Okay, here we go.
Our daughter is 10 years old. She started letting us know that she was transgender really before she could even speak. She would do things like wear her sister's clothes, pretend that towels were her
Normal for boys to wear their citrus clothes. It has nothing to do with being transgender.
long hair.
Wanting long hair, totally fine, totally normal. It's your hair.
And when she was about 3 years old, she started.
Isn't it ironic that the person the person who's supposed to be open about gender roles is using gender roles to judge what their kid is? There's some sort of weird, gross conundrum there, paradox.
To withdraw and become depressed. So we started doing
Withdraw and become depressed at 3.
some research. We talked to her pediatrician. Our daughter is.
They talked to a pediatrician about your kid. More tarded. Sorry, I really apologize. She didn't have to multitask, but I do. It's my life. I don't have to. I've chosen to. How are you worried about gun violence when you have parents like this? These people are talking about a 3-year-old fucking kid. Yeah, both these parents do look like they've transitioned.
Is 10 years old. She started letting us know that she was transgender really before she could even speak.
She was telling them the kid was transgender before the kid could speak. Do you understand at that point, if you don't have the fucking wherewithal, this goes back to what we were very first talking about at the beginning of the show, to be like, you need to change the way you think. These parents, she just admitted that she's projecting onto her kid what she thinks. She just admitted it. It's the word fuckery thing again. Yeah, I know. It sucks. It sucks. You just see them and you just know. I know. It's fucked up. Gender affirming healthcare. Look at these words. Gender is imagination, so it's imagination affirming healthcare. So it's some sort of healthcare that affirms your imagination. Man, these send her to Gitmo. I mean, that's better than the chipper. These people don't even know what these. God, it's fucking crazy. I'm gonna say one more thing, but it'll undermine everything I'm trying to share with you. But I'd like to hear from the dad. How about that? That's a nice way of saying it. I'd like to hear from the fucking dad. I do appreciate you guys calling in today. There was another clip that went with this segment, with this rant, but for some reason it's not public anymore. This is called The Funny Republican. I wrote, how often do you think this happens in public school? Here we go. Brace yourself. I don't know what this is. This is old as shit. Here we go.
I'd like to see you go up here and do one of these problems.
Stop talking to me, Mr. Johnson, before I come knock them motherfucking glasses off your face. And that's on my dick or my head.
Didn't I tell you earlier today? I said, Markel, I said I do not talk to you that way, and I would appreciate it if you did not talk to me.
Stop talking to me.
I do not curse at you. Have I ever cursed at you?
Yes.
I have never cursed at you.
Yes, you have.
You know that's not true.
I bet I can put up some problems next. You won't even know, Mr. Johnson.
You probably could.
Exactly.
Come on, put some problems on the board. I tell you. You. Well, I'd like to see you go up here and do one of these problems.
Stop talking to me, Mr. Johnson, before I come.
Can you imagine that? That's important. This is a fucking school teacher. I had a teacher in the 4th grade that used to hit. Mr. Nap Camper. Mr. Nap Camper. He hit. He hit with a ruler. Hey, there's kids like that in every school, in every classroom. Troubled kid for sure. Yeah, totally. Totally. Hey, but once again, it would be so easy to fucking fix this. I have 2 words for you. Matt Schindeldecker. There's a program that just fixes it. That kid's not made to be inside a fucking classroom. The school needs to pivot that kid straight outside, kept outside. Put in a program where he can be rehabilitated through physical fucking movement. Then he becomes a role model, and other troubled kids comes in, and he's there for them. It's not rocket science. There's tons of people in our community who've fucking cracked the code on this shit. Sean Lenderman, that kid has no one at home that he fears being punished by for how he acts at school. Yeah, you don't kick him out. Yeah, it's caused by racism, so you can't kick him out. Equity. The school, there's got to be a different place for these kids. There's so fucking many of them. Start the program. Next thing you know, you got fucking seniors in high school who are just like that as freshmen, teaching those kids, getting those kids. It's going to be a movement program. Those kids aren't going to do normal school. That kid's never going to do normal school. You just have to accept that and move on. It's going to have to do something else. But you can't leave them in there to fuck it up for the rest of the kids. I bet you that's happening right now in 10,000 classrooms across the United States. And we all know it. God, I'm trying to find something funny, but instead I'm just keep pulling up more and more just dumb, depressing shit. Oh, this guy. I want to tell you something. I drove my motorhome to New York, from California to New York several times. 32-foot double slide out, massive motorhome. And I would trip when I would drive around New Jersey and New York, and I drove this fucking thing into Manhattan. And I had some crazy experiences and stories to tell about that. But they do have sections of freeways that have overpasses that are so fucking low that you got to be careful. And if no one would have told me about them, I could have fucking killed myself and my passenger. But listen to this fucking idiot. This is just pure retard talk. Listen to this crazy shit.
Or if an underpass was constructed such that a bus carrying mostly Black and Puerto Rican kids to a beach, or it would have been in New York, was designed too low for it to pass by, that obviously reflects racism that went into those design choices.
Well, we're learning that a lot of passengers waiting in limbo as flights have been delayed, some have been canceled, and this is causing impacts, as you mentioned, all across the United States.
So this guy's in charge of transportation, and he's talking about how these bridges across freeways were, I guess, theoretically built low, so school buses of mostly Puerto Rican and Black kids, mostly, couldn't make it to the beach? Is that what he said? Let's say that were true. That's got to be out of context. Let's say that were true. Let's say you were able to. He says, why would he say it's obviously racist? Why wouldn't he be like, in 1957, Democrat Senator Michael O'Hanahern had all of these built to protect, I can't say the word, the N-word, to stop the N-words from going to the beaches. Why wouldn't he read that? Why is it just that it was, is it obvious to anyone that those bridges, that imagine the stretch you'd have to do. Oh my God, those must have been built low so that buses full of melanated kids and Puerto Ricans mostly can't make it to the beach. I mean, What the fuck is wrong with your thinking that you would go that way? And if it is true, just tell us who did it, when, how. Just say it. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah, I already did that. I'm not going to do that again. That was the Daniel Brandon Chipotle post. Oh, darn it. I hope this isn't old. Here we go. Here we go. You guys ready? Here we go.
Just gave you both $1 million cash. How would you feel?
I would be extremely grateful.
Would anybody be able to get you in a bad mood for a little while?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Deanna, would you agree?
I would agree 100%.
If I said I'll give you the $1 million, matter of fact, I made it 10 million, but you couldn't wake up tomorrow. You're done. Would you take it?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so what you're both saying is that just waking up tomorrow is worth more than $10 million.
That's hell of a perspective. And yep, it is. It is.
Then why ain't you feeling that way every damn time you wake up?
Oh, shit. Damn. I never looked at it that way.
Nobody does, dude. That's why we get up and we're all bummed out. We have a bad day, and this sucks, and that sucks, and the world hates me, and that's not fair. And I can't lose weight because of this reason, and I can't get in shape, and I can't make money, and blah, 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 blah. Guys, we woke up. It's gonna be a good day. The question is how good is it gonna get?
Right.
And if it doesn't get as good as we want, guess what? Hopefully we wake up the next day. If I just gave you both $1 million cash.
Listen, by the way, I'm going to play this one more time. And there's a part in there where he's going to talk about arguing your limitations. It's funny you asked, what am I going to eat for breakfast? I'm about to go to breakfast and I'm going to eat out. And I stopped eating bacon in my house, which was funny because when I smelt it yesterday, I was kind of tripping because I haven't bought bacon in forever. I got freaked out about processed meat. I stopped eating sandwich meat and bacon. Remember that? I don't know, 6 months ago or whatever. But I'm going out to breakfast this morning, and I'm kind of excited because I'm going to order probably just 2 sides of bacon, side avocado, and scrambled eggs. And I'm going to drink just an absurd amount of coffee, like a fucking crackhead. Okay, but listen to the thing that you're not supposed to do. Do not argue your limitations.
How would you feel?
I would be extremely grateful.
He'd be extremely grateful if he got the $1 million. That's cool.
Would anybody be able to get you in a bad mood for a little while?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Deanna, would you agree?
I would agree 100%.
If I said I'll give you the $1 million, matter of fact, I made it 10 million, but you couldn't wake up tomorrow. You're done. Would you take it?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so what you're both saying is that just waking up tomorrow is worth more than $10 million.
That's hell of a perspective. And yep, it is. It is.
Then why ain't you feeling that way every damn time you wake up?
Oh, shit. Damn. I never looked at it that way.
Nobody does, dude. That's why we get up and we're all bummed out. We have a bad day, and this sucks, and that sucks. The world
Nothing sucks. The world doesn't hate you.
Hates me, and that's not fair.
Nothing's fair. All word fuckery. All word fuckery. I'm bored. Word fuckery. That's not fair. Word fuckery. He deserves that. He doesn't deserve it. Word fuckery. This is just liars talk. Liars talk.
And I can't lose weight.
Arguing your limitations. I can't lose weight. Why are you arguing your limitations?
Because of this reason, and I can't get in shape, and I can't make money, and blah, 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 blah. Guys, we woke up.
Fuck yeah.
It's going to be a good day. The question is how good is it going to get?
Right.
And if it doesn't.
We're all spellcasters here, people. Be very careful of what you're casting on yourself. I'm not saying that with poetic license. I'm not saying it to romanticize it. You are a world-class spellcaster. Words. I am not joking. As a teacher who has had students that acted similarly to that boy, You meet their parents and begin to understand. Dakota Miller dropping bombs. 100% related to this behavior model at home and never being accountable. The chaos in that kid's home. Love you guys. I don't think that there is a show tonight. There is a show tomorrow morning with Brian Shantosh. We will dig in full steam ahead. Thank you, dude. I'm so stoked you guys are here. So fucking stoked and thankful for you guys. Mr. Robbie Myers. Shantosh will be here. Last time he was on the show, we just shot the shit, kind of got reacquainted with each other. We were friends and we just hadn't talked in years. And tomorrow I'm going to really dig into his boating journey. Why, how, what, where, who. Are you nuts? Shantosh with a couple of homies paddled across the ocean, rowed across an ocean. Listen, is that mentally ill? Rowing across an ocean? Jeremy World.